Hi, I am Stephanie Franco, and I am running for judge of the 187th District Court. I'm currently a felony prosecutor at the Bexar County DA's office and have dedicated my career to protecting victims. The current judge live streams and records everything in that courtroom because she cares more about YouTube clicks than the dignity of victims. I know how hard it is for survivors to have to testify, and I don't think we should make that any harder by using their trauma as entertainment. Please vote for me, Stephanie Franco, in the Democratic primary.
Like, people threatening violence. And I'm like, this is so insane.
Welcome back to Time Served, the channel that skins the docket so you don't have to, and boy, oh boy, did the court-watching community get a major blow this past week as Judge Boyd was taken out in the primary by DA Stephanie Franco. She campaigned on a hard line against live streaming on YouTube, and yes, this was a major bone of contention for that court.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the YouTube channel. I'm going to turn it off. I think that justice should be focused on justice. I don't think we should try and create entertainment out of the trauma that people go through. I also think that everyone's rights should be respected, including the people charged with crimes.
But was it the only reason? Well, in these primaries, voter turnout is extremely low. And guess who comes out to vote? Lawyers, court employees, and active political voters. All have been adamant in the past about their clients and their practices being streamed on YouTube, thus causing a backlash of epic proportion in this small pool of voters that decided the narrow election by a 52-48 vote. Either way, this causes a line in the sand that at this particular time did not swing in her favor. Not to mention, Franco ran on a campaign that was focused on domestic violence victims and having their business streamed all over the place. And how could you not feel sorry for that? And in this clip, you will hear the lengths that Franco supporters went to on election day that was quite scary. And if this is true, which I don't see Judge as a liar, then this was uncalled for and should have been stopped. Bottom line, there wasn't one single factor, but a storm of controversy, change, and framing of a message that did not work in Judge's favor. Either way, for this community, she will be missed. And could she have pulled back in hindsight? Of course. But we all enjoyed the ride, and we could debate this until the cows come home. But all I have to say is thank you, Judge Boyd. We enjoyed the content. Like and subscribe, set your notifications to all, and make sure you comment on this. This is a highly debatable topic, and we love to hear from you. Once again, thanks a lot, Judge Boyd. Let's roll, nerds.
Let me know anything.
Oh, you're so awesome. Hey, well, you know what? I am very happy. There were some crazy things that were happening at polling sites. Like, people threatening violence. And I'm like, this is so insane.
I know why that is.
Mm-hmm. And so I was receiving phone calls, my opponent's father being verbally abusive to a pregnant lady who was handing out my campaign material. Then at the polling site I was at on Tuesday, the person who was working for my opponent was saying abusive things to me. And then I was just like, yeah, I'm going to leave. And then the people who were there with me, they're like, Stephanie, you haven't heard the half of it. And so I had to have security at the polling site with me.
What?
Yes. It was just, I'm like, this is insane. And not insane in the legal sense, just...
Yeah, I'm very sorry that ever happened.
Oh, no. They were doing like this win at all costs things. And I'm just like, I'm not here for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like an ethics commission.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, and my mom called me. She's like, 7 is a perfect number. And she said, now you have a chance to do a lot, because my mom said she doesn't think that people know.
When I was asking people who's going to run against this judge, because in my opinion, the harm she was causing to our community was so great that someone needed to do something. And every person I spoke to said, no one is willing to.
Oh, wow.
For fear, for various reasons.
Right.
And I went home and I talked to my parents and I talked to my husband. And when I described some of what's happening there, all of them said, how could you not run?
Right.
And that led to me running.
Now, would you mind kind of, you mentioned, kind of harm to the community. Would you mind discussing that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So currently in the 187th, which is the court I'm running for, and it covers all of Bexar County. Everyone in Bexar County can vote for me and should vote for me. The judge there puts everything in the courtroom on YouTube. She's colloquially referred to as the YouTube judge. This includes victim testimony. And even when victims state that they do not want their trauma to be put online, the judge there chooses to do so anyway. And as a prosecutor who's worked with victims for 11 years now, I know how hard it is for them to get the courage to speak and to, for domestic violence victims in particular, there's so much shame associated, wrongfully, but associated with their trauma and with, the types of cases that they're in. And so then to add additional trauma by saying you now have to choose between privacy and justice, it's horrific, frankly.
How much work goes into this?
Huh?
Like trying to do the right thing for people. So I hope that, I'm hoping that people get the help that they need still. And then, do things for me. So I didn't end up getting home because I had to have security follow me home and taking different routes. I had security in front of me and behind me, taking me on a different route to get me home to make sure nobody was following me. That's how crazy it was. And then I got home, took a nice little bubble bath, because I always go to sleep, right? And then I got up the next morning because I was going to the Young Women's Leadership Academy because they had the Read Across America. Those young girls are so cute and so funny. And so I read to them this book called Boxy Text. Boxy Text.
Okay.
And it's about this girl who's a boxy tech. And I was like, please let me pronounce all these words correctly. And so basically, she lives with her mom and she builds a lot of things out of boxes. So they sent her to a maker class or maker institute. And she was so happy. She was the only boxy tech there. But everyone else had their thing that they were good at. So you had the blanketeers. They made a bunch of things out of blanket. Then the spaghetti tears, making things out of spaghetti. And so it's about these two girls. One felt special, but then another girl comes along and she's a boxer tech too. And she's sort of better than the other girl. And so it was about resolving their conflict and working together as a team to build a great structure. And now at schools, of course, I grew up in film strip days, right? They don't have the film strips. They have a docu-cam like they have here, where you can just put the book on the docu-cam, turn pages so all of the students can see it. But I think I read to like 4 classes, and I gave them 2 books to choose from, and all of them chose Boxy Text. And then there was one long student, no, I want to read the other one. So I read the first one. I'm like, do we have time to read the second one? So the second one too, I think it was called Build Something. And it was about how everything, architects, how a lot of people are involved. And so it was great. So I enjoyed it.
That's a wonderful thing.
Oh yeah.
It's nice.
So I'm happy.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, let me know
You've
what
always been my treasure since day one. So
let me know what you need, and I'm here.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But I will tell you, I don't know if you remember Laura, but Laura was like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing great. It's fine. She's like, I'm so happy because we keep saying we're going to go to Vegas to go to the Sphere to see some show, but we never can because I'm constantly here and doing other things. She's like,
Experience.
now we can do it.
I've been there. We're going again.
Yeah, I need to see. I miss Wizard of Oz
Yes.
because they said it was good, but I'm going to see what else they have on tap that I'm going to do.